Hey guys, Biddy here, back with another episode of Tekkit. As you remember last time, we finished up with the moving red power quarry, frame quarry. Now, what I need to do is build a controller for it, and what I'm going to need to do is build a computer. Couldn't be any simpler. 7 stone, 1 glass pane, and 1 redstone. I believe... Yep, I have it all. Okay, let's make the glass panes. I can't aim. Just 1. And there we go. Now I'm going to put this... I'm going to put it right here. Facing north, because that's my forward direction. I'm going to leave all these in place for now. I still want to do a little testing. So, the deal with the computer is they're using CraftOS. It uses a programming language called Elua. Look it up on the wiki. I'm not going to go a tutorial on that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to create a program here and get that set up, tested and debugged a little bit, and then I will be back as soon as I get that done, and I'll put it up on Pastebin so you can get that downloaded if you want, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I've got everything programmed. What I'll do is I'll start out here. I created a file called mining. Okay. What that does is I set the output side to the back, which obviously that's where everything is set. And what I've got here, it's called an API. It's just a whole set of functions that other programs can call. It makes things a lot easier to program to handle, you know, all sorts of stuff, moving and that type of stuff. So, so what I've got here is this first function here is designed to move an inchworm drive one block in any given direction. So the move, and then you feed it the color of the cable that you want to do. So what it's going to do is it's going to set the back to, say you wanted to send a signal to the white. So you would call the function move and then white for the parameter, and then that would send it out the back side, color white. This sleeps 0.8 seconds. This is the amount of time it takes for any drive to do its thing, to move something. Then sets everything back to 0, which means it turns off the pulse. And then what I've got here, normally you can just tell it to sleep, you know, 0.8, and it moves everything a block, and if you do that repeatedly, it's actually very smooth. Problem is, with these drives, if you don't give that little bit of extra time after they've moved back into their original position to recharge, they're going to run out of charge, and you're going to get stranded. And you got to go down and you got to manually move stuff and feed it charge, and it's just a big pain in the butt. So putting that 0.2 seconds in there will help give it enough charge to keep moving along. Okay. Now I also created just a pulse command. What this will do is it'll just send a really short pulse, and that's good for the stationary drives, the ones that move stuff back and forth. Then the rest of the drives, what I did is I just created a command for each one, so I can move the whole thing north X number of times. It's a very simple command. In fact, all of them do the same thing. I did it this way just it's easier to do in my head. And then we've got the mining head. Here's where we pulse. The pulse takes a total of 0.4 seconds. So I need to add in that 0.4 seconds of sleep before the next pulse, otherwise the engine hasn't finished doing its movement. So that's why I've got that there. And I did make the pulse shorter because I still want to be able to pulse all the block breakers down below very quickly. So I'll get to that in a bit. Now, move head right, and then the up and down, it's the exact same thing. So what I'll do is quick demo this here. Oops. Now if you want to do the manual commands here, you just you get into the Elua interface. Now, this is an API that I created. It's not loaded into the system yet. So what you need to do is you need to do os.load API, and then and then the name of the API. In this case, I can't spell. It's mining. Okay, it'll return true, telling you that it's all set. Now, I can go any direction. I can say, oh boy, there we go. And the whole unit's going to move south. Now the trick here is, because of the movement, this block becomes invalid for a second. So you have to, if you're doing all this manually, you do have to escape out and go back into it. So, so for the head, you'll see that it's at about that level. So I'll move the head up, I'll say 2, just for grins. And what that'll do, that brings it up 2. So now, the only thing that I need to finish up is to be able to send to this pulse, and I believe, oh, what color is that going to be now? I'll figure that out in a sec. But I'm going to have to put a wireless transmitter probably right in here somewhere with the right color wire going to it, and I'll get that set up and I'll be back in a sec. It turns out that I need purple. I can't remember if I showed this to you before or not, but so basically what I do, unfortunately, like I said, in this version you have to do all this manually. I lay out the blocks and then I paint them. Put this back in the repair chest and then bust them all up, and that's how I can make my colored cable. Okay, I made one important change here. Now first off, I put a transmitter along with the purple wire, which will then trigger that the block breakers down below. What I did is I added into the move head down function here the function to fire, and all that does is it pulses that. So it'll fire that, it'll break the blocks, move it down 1, sleep for 4/10 of a second, and then keep doing that. I did that just so I don't have to do any extra functions every time I move the head down. Okay, after a bit of debugging and troubleshooting, I've decided on going this route here. What I've got is it's a function that it's going to mine 16 blocks to the right, and then also go down 1 and then move 16 blocks to the left. So it's just very simple. Fires, moves to the right 16 times, fires again, moves the head down, and then fires and moves it to the left 16 times, and moves it down again, getting it ready for the next cycle. So let's give this a try. Oops. Okay, the moment of truth. I'm just going to cycle once for a test. Probably should have done twice, but we'll see. Okay, that initial cycle was a success. My client crashed again. I don't know what the heck's going on here, but there's something that's causing this thing to crash. So I'm going to cycle it 10 times and see what happens. Okay, coming back from yet another crash. I'm hoping that clearing out all this crap, because remember this one kept crashing on me. I'm hoping that removing that particular wire, that particular wireless transmitter will take care of it. I really hope so. We'll just go to and hope for the best. Okay guys, as you can see, this is working. It crashed my client again. This is something that I think is broken beyond repair at this point. As much as I would love to see this actually work here, I just don't see it happening. There's too much work involved to replicate this, to rebuild this thing from the ground up, because there's something. One of these blocks is causing the issue. It gets most of the way across, and then it crashes my client. So at this point, what I'm going to do is, I know this API works. I know it works great. So let's see. I'm going to paste this up to Pastebin. If you would like to use the code, feel free. It's uh-oh. Okay, so at this point, there are so many things wrong with this world. I'm constantly crashing. I have these lightning storms that continue to hit just this one area. I cannot for the life of me get this code pasted up. Sorry. I will be doing a mining, a mobile mining Red Power 2 Quarry on my other channel, which I'll be posting a link to down below. At this point, I think, Tekkit has run its course. I'm done with it. I'm moving on to Feed the Beast over on my other channel. I wish I had a better ending for you, but this world is just deteriorating for whatever reason. So, there's really only one way to be sure that this whole thing is going to go away, and that's to take it off and nuke it from orbit. Yeah. There goes the base. Oh, I was expecting a wider explosion. Here. Let's do this. Okay, folks. Hope you enjoyed the series. Like I said, I wish this would have turned out a little bit better, but my next series will. Feed the Beast is going to be my next series, and I hope you check out my my other channel. So until then, take care.